I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got it. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough time. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back. There we go. Well, thank you guys for joining us once again. Today is going to be crazy. There's a lot going on in the world, period. But as always, I am your man, K Marvel.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy QS.
Due to some unforeseen family situations, Stretch cannot be on the show today, but our condolences to our brother and his family during his hard time.
It's me, Stryker Dragoon, as usual.
And we are three. Oh, that's not right. I love this stuff. Hold on. I got you. Bam, there we go. We are three of, well, that's not it either. We are three of your four corners of commentary. Excuse me. I don't know, man. It's tech. I don't know. Like, what do you want from me? Oh, man. So first and foremost, gents, what's going on?
Life is life.
I hear that.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Pardon me.
Honestly, just recovering toe and everything. Pretty much out of commission. It is a sting. Is very, very, very annoying for a healing process to go through. To hell with the Uber driver that put me.
Yeah, no, definitely. So Uber driver ran over your toe. He a jerk. Hope he falls in the ditch. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in once again. We always appreciate y'all. But like I said earlier in the show, there's a lot of things going on in not only the wrestling world, but the normal world as a whole. Excuse me. So with that being said, let's jump right into our first topic, which is Jade has left AEW. And rumors are that she is in Orlando, or she was in Orlando, I believe, yesterday for their tryout. So with that being said, oh, that is the wrong place. That's hilarious. So with that being said, what do you guys think that, or how do you think Jade should be brought into the WWE? Do you think she should go through the NXT system first, so she kind of understands the WWE way? Or do you think she should shoot straight to the main roster? And if she does go straight to the main roster, what show would you put her on, Raw or SmackDown? Anybody?
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, we're having a behind the scenes communication situation. Hold on a second.
Oh, got you. Sorry, y'all. There's a little bit of a lag going on. We can just be upfront. So as we try to figure that out, I'll start it off with me personally. I do think I think she should go through the NXT system. I don't think there should be a rush for her to go straight to the main roster. Because I'm pretty sure AEW and the WWE have their different had their different ways of approaching TV, right? I mean, generally, it should be the same with looking at the hard cam and things like that. But we know that WWE does have a different system when it comes to their approach to TV. So for me personally, maybe she shouldn't be down there for like 2 years or anything like that, because everybody would want her to be on the main roster as soon as possible because of the run that she did have in AEW. But even if she doesn't win, even if it's one of those things where she doesn't win the NXT Women's title, right? That's fine to me, because she can. Once again, to me, it's like if she wins the NXT Women's title, she's going to have to be there for a year minimum.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I only say that because of her running AEW, right? Like you want to build her up to be one of the next faces or one of the faces of whatever brand that she's on. We already know at the end of the day, let's be honest, Bianca is the face of the WWE.
Correct.
Period. So with them using Montez, having those two show up everywhere, and you have Cody, obviously, you have Roman, obviously, Roman is still here and there, but essentially it's Bianca and Cody, right? And it seems like they're going to use Montez and Bianca as the power couple. So, and with everybody, because we live in a rumor-based society. So, well, when it comes to wrestling, at least. So, with her possibly, once again, rumors, but possibly joining whatever they're going to end up calling with Bobby and the Street Profits. Right. There's this whole rumor where, Jade would be right there in the mix with them. So I don't know. For me, I would like her to go to NXT first. But what do you think?
I'm not conflicted. I think the person whom has the NXT championship currently is the perfect person for her to debut against. So that's why I feel she doesn't need to be in NXT that long. If we can have Mandy Rose in NXT for maybe a year or less and go right up to the main roster, why can't we have somebody who's been across national television for over 2-3 years? She's been in AEW,
something like that. Yeah.
So why can't we just have her in the same spotlight? Obviously, she's trained with Bryan Danielson. She's trained with, I'm pretty sure, whomever she's trained with, even if it wasn't just Bryan alone. I'm pretty sure BCC, she was probably training with them. But to be under that tutelage and then basically prepping yourself for the big time. And the reason I say big time is in the sense of WWE's reach, WWE's global foothold or footnote, I should say. Why wouldn't she be prepared to, take a leap to the main roster, even if she's on NXT for a few months, holds the NXT belt, holds the NXT women's belt, excuse me, takes down a bunch of people, but she's just as new. That doesn't mean she's not green in a sense or anything of that sort. Bianca was in NXT. I hate to make comparisons. Bianca was in NXT for about what, 2 years, I would say, or am I
She
thinking
might have been there
longer?
longer than that.
Maybe 3 years, I would say,
Maybe something around there.
because she was in terms of the women's wrestling, not the women's wrestling, excuse me, in terms of women's wrestling, in NXT around that time, you've had a bit of an era, a good era at that time. You had Rhea,
Yeah.
you had Shayna Baszler, you had Kairi Sane, you had Ember
Mhm.
Moon, you had not Asuka was already gone up.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else did we have?
Bianca, you had Dakota Kai, you had
There we go.
Raquel.
hmm
You had a deep. That was an extremely talented class.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Especially with Becky holding the NXT Women's title right now. My only thing is, excuse me. My only thing is, yeah, like I said, I just wouldn't want, if she is in NXT, I want her to have a good enough time frame
Right.
where once again she learns the WWE style
hmm
and then bring her up to the main roster.
Well, to finish my point, since
Yeah,
our
sorry.
brother is back now, I think she's ready. Honestly, she's done the TV time. She just finished doing French Montana's video. I forgot the name of the song, but she just finished doing that video. Her presence was known throughout that. They made
Right.
her presence strong in that. I think honestly, congrats to her agency, who's been booking her to do these different things and has been, putting her out there more.
Mm.
But I think she's ready. I mean, you've been on TV for however many years. You can do the promo work. You have the presence. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give her the entrance. So
Oh
to
yeah.
me, the wrestling is something that can be honed, of course. And I bring Mandy Rose as an example because of what she went through, and she got brought up to the main roster. And then as time went on, she got better. Then she went back to the performance center, got even better, and was doing her thing in NXT. So at this point, I don't really consider NXT developmental in a sense, because it's become more so like a star making show. But I wouldn't say developmental, because developmental sounds like it's remedial, or it sounds like it's a lower end.
Well, I mean,
With them
sorry, folks, this mic went nuts a little bit. we having tech issues all over the place today.
Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry. With what was it saying?
Developmental.
Yeah, but I'm saying with them bringing main roster talent down, now it feels like a bigger show than what it was before. So to say it's developmental at this point, it's starting to feel like an actual third brand again.
And just to argue that point for a second, I think at this point, like, yes, I feel like the IWC has built this stigma where something being called developmental is frowned upon. But personally, I feel like that should not be the case. Because it's developmental, it does not mean that it's a negative thing. All developmental is exactly what it sounds like. You're developing those skills so that when you do get on the main roster, you already know the system. You already know how to, like I said earlier, how to do the hard cam and how to, move a certain way and things like that. So I think that stigma of it being developmental needs to be thrown out the window, in my personal opinion. Q, what do you think?
Personally, I think it's best for her. I don't know if y'all can hear me.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think it's best for her to, like, even if she's to go to NXT, it's only going to be brief. It's just a quick run through, like, just to let her see what it is. I'm not going to sit here and say she's main roster ready, because at the same, because I mean, if we're going by just the wrestling alone, Jade was always was never actually, like, wrestling wise, Jade was never ready. But Jade is definitely ready when it comes to charisma. She's ready when it comes to promos. She's ready when it comes to just the look. She has the look. It's just you. If you're gonna shoot her up to the main roster automatically, then you automatically have to just put her with all of the vets to help shield the so-called where she lacks, I guess, where they want to say that she lacks in wrestling.
Right.
Even though the wrestling is not even, to me, it's not that bad. Yeah, she's green, but
no, she's gotten way better.
She's gotten. I wouldn't say she's gotten way better. She has gotten better. She's improved, but it's not. It's leaps and bounds. No, I mean, it's. I guess time will tell. She still was going. I think it was just unfortunate because of her time off. It was short lived. We were not going to really be able to truly see it because, again, she after she lost to Chris Statlander again, that was it. That was the swan song. So it's just like, oh, okay. So we're not really going to see. Only time will tell. But I think Jade's character fits better under the WWE umbrella anyways. It just fits better. It fits better. She has a lot more. It's a lot more avenues opened. She's able to get more visibility. She'll be able to get more visibility. Obviously, where her agency is going to help as well. But like with that, and under the TKO, the WWE TKO Endeavor brand, that's endless. That's endless on promo. You don't have to worry about only seeing Jade at one basketball game and one or two Comic-Cons. You could actually see her at plenty. You'll see her at plenty. You'll see her probably on some video games. You might see Jade on Up, Down, Down. This is the visibility that she needs. She needed this visibility just to do it with under the WWE umbrella, where unfortunately AEW lacks. AEW, yes, has money. Yeah, they're another company that has money, but they don't have no other wrestling company has that type of pull for like actual like visibility for like WWE, especially when you're trying to transcend from wrestling to being in just entertainment.
Yeah. Here's my question for you, right? Like I said earlier, would you put her with someone like Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, and Bianca?
No.
Or would you rather her or if not, who would you put her with?
Honestly, I would really want to just put is what's his called is Robert Stone he's still on NXT, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I would say if anything, put it with Robert Stone. Put her with Robert Stone, or if not, because she doesn't, or if not, if you're not gonna put her with Robert Stone, put her with MVP. Put her with MVP. You don't really need to put her with the Bobby Lashley, Street Profits, and Bianca, because Bianca and Jade, those are two personalities that you could see. While it would be dope to see, they don't mix. It's not gonna mix. It's not gonna mix in a group. It's too headstrong. Two headstrong women. It's not gonna work. So I would just say,
you don't think that? Sorry to cut you off, but you don't think that would be in a okay? So let's think a little differently, right? With the question, you don't think that the two of them together would help push, what people would say, being them being two strong, powerful black women.
It's the 2-woman power trip.
You know what I mean?
But then if you're gonna do that, you don't need a Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. You just keep those. Then you just keep that separate. You have to keep it separate. There's like just because you're seeing everybody strong black, we have strong black wrestlers in the company. It doesn't mean that you have to put all of them in together in one group. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just speaking in general. I'm just saying in general. You don't have to do that. You can just literally keep them both separate. if that's the case, if you wanted to be in the 2-woman power trip, keep them separate, keep them completely separate, and keep it moving. But also at the same time, I also don't believe that it would even happen because Bianca is literally cemented as just this generational babyface. No matter what, she's just the superhero. I really don't believe that we're ever going to get to that point where Bianca is going to turn and she's going to be heel. I think at this point in her career, she doesn't need to be. I don't think we're going to get that. We might get a little bit sometimes of an aggressive
future.
Bianca, maybe an aggressive Bianca, but are we going to get an actual like heel, like how she was back in her early NXT days? No, we might get a little shades of it here and there, but we're not going to get that. We're not getting that. We're not getting that anymore. That phase is over. The heel persona, it fits Jade better.
Right.
I personally would say if it was going to be like a 2-woman power trip, it would have been better. I think it would even be better like if you was to see like Jade aligned with a Becky Lynch or Jade aligned with Charlotte. You need to align Jade with somebody that she could just basically is like you could just feed off of. Like that's why I said with her and Bianca, it just wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. Bianca just too headstrong. They're too headstrong, and Bianca's just too much of the good. She's too much of the good part of the face. She's too much of a baby face. It's not gonna work. It just wouldn't work for me.
Okay, I get that. I get that. So then, before we go to our next topic, real quick, just name the show. Would you rather her go to SmackDown or Raw if she goes straight to the main roster?
Jade is better off on Raw. Jade would help bring the numbers up for Raw. I personally believe that. I personally believe that SmackDown, I guess for the women in general, the women are already loaded on SmackDown, so it would be better off to just put her on Raw. Just have her on Raw, have her on Monday nights, and just kill it. And then if she wants to, transition her over to SmackDown, and then she'll do the same
eventually,
thing.
yeah.
Jade is gonna kill regardless. That's the point.
Yeah. All right. So what's up?
I second that as well. I also feel you have a lot more of the powerhouses on Raw at this moment. So why wouldn't you put her with Rhea, put her with Raquel, put her with Natalia,
as in matches, right?
No, I meant like physical strength in terms of the physical talent they have on Raw.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like them versing each other.
As well, right? But it can showcase her strength as well as can showcase, I guess, a bit of her athleticism. I guess you could say. SmackDown is really like the heavy hitters. SmackDown is where if you send her to SmackDown, you're feeding her to the wolves, basically. And I'm not saying,
I mean, trial by fire.
I'm not saying, right, but you don't want to do that too early because SmackDown's technically the premiere show of
now,
the two.
Yes.
So, to me, it's just you do want to put her on the big stage, but if we have a 3-hour Raw, I can flesh her out with a promo and a good match. Yeah. If I put her on SmackDown, you have to deliver. Whatever time you get, you have to deliver. Raw will give you that time.
Yeah. With that being said, let's actually jump to SmackDown. So we found out earlier today that SmackDown, that USA paid somewhere in the billions, if I believe.
Jeez, billions?
Yeah, it was. I think it was on. It was on 1.3 or 1.4 billion. Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, they renewed their contract with WWE. This is what NBC is doing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So SmackDown next year, SmackDown is definitely going back to USA. Mm-hmm. But NXT and Raw, they're actually shopping it.
Yep.
So for the first time in a long time, Raw will not be on USA. The last time it was on a different channel, it was on TNT. I'm sorry, TNN.
No, TNN. Yep.
Yep. A la Spike TV or whatever.
Yeah, Spike TV.
Yep. Before they went back to USA. So with SmackDown going to USA, I personally would think that they are like, you know, like you kind of said, they're using SmackDown as one of the premier shows. Even though to me a lot of the premier names are still on Raw. Like Raw still gets more numbers than SmackDown does for now. And y'all know I'm not crazy about ratings. I'm all.
You sure?
That's what I read.
I thought
I could be wrong.
SmackDown gets 2 million every week.
Yes, they do.
I could be wrong. Y'all know I'm not a ratings.
But look at it this way. Look at it this way.
Listen, SmackDown always averages. SmackDown on a regular averages around 2.2 to 2.3 million every week. The same time, they're also losing money. They compared to how SmackDown, when it was SmackDown Live, when it first started coming out, when it was
good time.
Got shopped over to SmackDown. When it got shopped over to Fox, SmackDown was literally hitting before. It was hitting like three. It was like 3 millis, but back to back. But then ever since even that was even during the pandemic era. But then after that, the ratings have dropped. Like I guess significantly, if you want to look at it from Fox standpoint, yes, the ratings have dropped significantly. But at the same time, they feel like they were just losing more money than they were gaining. They were losing more than they were gaining. So it's just like, all right, they did the commitment. So now ABC is gonna, I guess, ABC, I guess, is USA is gonna take over, which is cool. I guess it's like it's been a while
for sure.
It's good. Oh, great for USA, but then it also adds into the fact now what happens next. What happens next? Yeah, for Raw and NXT. Obviously, it would have been dope to see USA getting all they now have just all three brands on their on USA, but then that I feel like that would have did them a disservice as well. You know, it's trying to shop around. I personally think Raw or NXT is probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up on like a streaming. Not even say streaming. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up on like Amazon. No, not Peacock, because that deal with Peacock is about to end soon as well. So it's just like that's what I heard. I'm not.
No, it's not going to end.
Oh, it's not going to end? Okay.
Reason why I say it is because, remember, NBC owns USA. So the fact that they're continuing that, it's not going anywhere.
It could be that. Yeah, so then it could be that as well. But then
only reason I interjected is because, what were they saying? They said something. Oh, so in addition to all of that, they said that NBC, not Peacock, NBC, literally local TV, is getting 4 PLEs.
Yeah, they get 4 PLEs from it. Yeah.
Well, and remember, it's also to clarify for everyone listening, they're getting 4 specials that's on NBC and or USA specifically. This isn't a Backlash. This isn't a WrestleMania. This is 4 specials on said networks. So, like I was talking about it earlier, it could very well be as simple as a tribute to the troops, a Saturday main event.
Right.
If they decide to go back to Sunday, maybe they'll call it a Sunday main event or something. You know, and then like maybe King of the Ring, and hypothetically speaking, let's say Cyber Tuesday, right? To which I would love for them to bring back Cyber Tuesday. That was dope. Man, a lot of Shelton Benjamin won the IC title on a Cyber Tuesday.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, against Chris Jericho too. But you know, I think it's just really interesting. You know, everybody likes to throw. Once again, we live in a rumor-based society now when it comes to wrestling, right? And a lot of things get spoiled and all of this stuff. So if we are going to play devil's advocate, you know, people like to say, "Oh, Disney could buy them," and Disney would go, you know, would put them on the Disney on Disney Plus. I'm good on that. I don't need to see Mickey Mouse in the wrestling ring. I'm good.
I'll interject on that as well. Most likely we'll go to ESPN Plus.
I can see that. Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Most likely we'll go to ESPN Plus. I think what the deal you were speaking about, QS, was actually the Hulu deal. The Hulu deal is coming up on the
the Hulu, right? The Hulu is set to expire.
So you already see Peacock has episodes of Raw, but I don't know the time differential. I know Hulu has the most recent months. Okay. I know Hulu has the most recent months, but I know Peacock has like a few months back and everything from that all the way back. So if the Hulu deal is coming up, I think that's better if Disney ends up selling Hulu, because that means that they don't have to worry about that. But if they're going to bring it to ESPN Plus, that adds more subscribers to Disney, if you get what I mean. So ESPN Plus hasn't really been selling much from what I'm hearing or from what I've seen in terms of pay-per-views, in terms of things like that. So I think if for what the article said, which is Hollywood Reporter, from what the article said, they said that they have a lot of unexpected players. So who wouldn't think Disney when they mentioned Disney at a time before? We were hearing ESPN was interested in covering a lot more WWE content and stuff like that. So, I mean, honestly, sky's the limit.
I could agree with that. That's true. That's true.
So let's get Mr. K Marvel back on. But yeah, I was just saying that the same article that we were reading, they also said that they have a lot of they have a set amount of people that are interested in getting Raw or NXT.
Yeah.
And then they said they have a lot of unexpected players. So,
oh yeah, I believe that for sure.
So Disney was one of the big names that I know of for sure.
Yeah, but Disney wants to buy everything. You know what I mean? So, but they're not. It's not foolish for them. Let me rephrase this. It would be foolish for them not to look into it at least.
Of course.
Right. So, so with that being said, let's switch off. Let's go to actually, since we're talking about different channels and things like that, let's do this. So outside of the WWE realm or the wrestling realm or anything like that, we know that the writer strike is possibly coming to an end. There's been talks about them coming to terms with a new deal. There's a lot going on, man. We saw The Rock come back last Friday on Smackdown. So the internet wrestling community is, oh, well, he's not doing any movies, so here he is. You know what I mean?
So I think while that's funny is just like because it is true. It's like, oh, he came back because it's like, well, he ain't got nothing else to do.
Right. He's bored.
Now,
right.
Granted, the writer's strike may be about to end. It's still not. The writer's strike and the actor's strike is two different things. So while writer's strike is maybe they may be reaching a deal, it still doesn't mean that the actor strike is done.
Right.
Because they are still very headstrong on not. They're still doing their thing in strike. They know that they're not getting paid. They're not getting paid for their past sitcom shows or past movies. They're not, or past TV drama shows that they've probably been a part of. They're not getting paid for it. They're not getting any residuals. So that is still a thing. I think, is it going to be? I just think time will tell.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It is cool. It is cool to see that the writer strike is getting ready. That they're nearing its end, because as you can see, like, we're being without the shows. Like, a lot of these shows, we're just getting reruns. We're not getting any new seasons of anything. As you can see, a lot of the shows that we were hoping that were getting renewed are not getting renewed at all, because just due to this writer strike, they've already said that we're not doing it. I think Winning Time was one of those shows that did get the hit. They got the news that they're not being renewed for another season. So
and don't forget, there's, sorry to cut you off. Before you finish your point, I just want to add, don't forget that a lot of people's favorite movies and sequels and things like that have been pushed back also.
Yeah, they got pushed back. Like a lot of, especially like, I guess, for those are like Marvel heads, a lot of the Marvel movies got pushed back to like 2025, 2026. Like, it's just not, it just is what it is. It's not the way, this isn't the way that I guess, that we thought it would get to. We never thought it would get like this.
Right. Then again, majority of us also didn't understand how they were getting paid.
Right.
So with them coming out publicly and us seeing like actual receipts or paychecks, is the obvious term, because that's really what they are. The residuals and things like that of people being on full seasons and getting 50 something cents out of it. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you really think about it, because these people are sacrificing so much time.
Absolutely.
Right? Like what's the phrase, right? Time is money. So when you have a job, you are literally sacrificing your time to get paid. And for them to be doing, obviously, hypothetically speaking, let's say a season is 23 episodes. So, you're doing all of this work. These episodes come out 23 weeks out of the year. And then, between, let's say the show is still syndicated, between seasons, you have all of the reruns, so, what does that necessarily mean when you can be an extra and get paid more in a day, even if it's $100, even if it's $50, than somebody who has speaking roles on an entire season?
It's true.
Right.
True thing.
Agree. How can I say this? Actually, I'll start with a joke. You notice there's never been a strike for WWE in terms of that, right? Writers, maybe wrestlers, in the sense of, them being vocal, but you never heard about a writer's strike for the back room.
Well, but isn't that because like I wasn't going to say is because, like, companies like AEW and like WWE are like private owned companies, but WWE Endeavor TKO is like a publicly traded company and shit. But but I think they have their own sector of writers and writers
absolutely
worry about, so they don't got to worry about them striking, because they made sure that their writers are getting paid. So it's
but that's my whole point. Like, you would think a weekly television show, live television show,
it's true,
doing the bullshit that they're doing with these other companies and big names and whatnot, you would think that the one company who always has trouble, come the, whichever annual time it is, where they're firing a bunch of people, but you never hear about the writers' room having an issue. You never hear about backstage, obviously backstage, not talking about the wrestlers, but just, production and all that stuff.
in general.
You don't hear shit about that.
Yeah.
But big as Hollywood is,
majority of the time. Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying in a sense that, for wrestling, right. I'm saying just for wrestling, it's crazy that is so solid. And you have Hollywood, who literally has people that has to do rewrites. They have to do new scripts. They have to do this and that. You get to do reshoots. You get to do all of this other stuff. And these people can't get residuals. These people can't they can't get paid for having credits on something. That's like comparing it to the video game industry, where you have all these developers who, if you don't do a significant amount of work, even if you worked on, maybe a level, maybe a building, maybe a dialogue sequence, and you're not credited for it, compared to these people who are credited for it, whatever they're doing, and they're not getting paid for it. It's basically the same fucking situation.
And once again, right, it's like, putting it this way, you have writers, I'll put it this way, right? You have writers who have been doing, this for how long, you know what I mean? And they're not getting paid yet. you're paying freelancers because you can pay them whatever you want.
Exactly.
And you can give them a little more money for, I don't know how long of whatever they're doing.
Mhm.
It's really crappy when you really look at it. You know what I mean? Think, you know what? I think a decent way to compare it is waitressing, right? Or being a waiter. They don't get paid the same. I know, I have friends personally who are waiters, and they get paid less, but they get paid in tips. So then it's like, all right, so what you gonna do? Pay me and then feed me pizza? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a trick. It's crazy. It's really crazy when you think about it. Let's did you guys have any other points for this?
With the writer's strike, no, I didn't really have, because like I said, it's been going, I think it's like the writer's strike has been going on for so long. It's been going on since May. So it's just like, now to like see, it's like, oh, it's finally ending. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, hopefully.
I guess it's because you know what it is. It's like I've just gotten used to it. I got used to like, all right, the strike's going on. All right, a lot of these shows that you see on TV are just reruns. So it's just like I just went to another alternative. Either just play video games, or just watch other shows. I just watch other shows on the streaming apps. It's just like, all right, well, it's not that much of a loss. I didn't feel like it was that much of a loss to me. I didn't really feel it, but like now to see like, all right, strike's ending. Well, it looks like it's about to come to an end. It's like, okay, well, that gives us, it's a good thing for those same writers. Like, all right, now they're going to get paid and they're able to go back to work.
Well, and that's the crappy part. And I think you brought up a good point too, because that's the crappy part too. Streaming services aren't necessarily helping either.
Of course. So and I think that's where it all boils down to as well. It's like what they really want. That's where they all wanted the money from, because that's even with the actors. For the actors, like they still want to be paid. These companies are like, shopping their shows to like these streaming apps, and the actors are still not getting paid a dime. They're not getting getting a residual. That sucks. That's not cool.
Right. So with that being said, now this part, for our next topic, I can't really speak too much about it because I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But I know you guys and Stretch has. But AEW Fight Forever essentially being called a flop. A lot of people don't like it, man. Even for their first time out. Like, I feel like, excuse me, a lot of the time you can kind of excuse certain aspects when it comes to the first game or the first version of a game being released. But what is it about the game that you guys aren't really fond about?
Now I remember when I first dropped, I said it I actually do wish Stretch was here, because Stretch has a game as well. Before I gave a very generous rating. I gave AEW Fight Forever a 7. I said that was me being very nice, and that's me. And anyone that knows me, when I give ratings, this is either going to be is very cut and dry. I gave that a 7.
You're like the IGN of
no, not even. IGN. I wouldn't even say IGN. If you want to give me a bigger, higher one, like Forbes or something, like, it's like, all right, cool. But the reason why I gave AEW Fight Forever a 7 is because this is their first game out.
Right.
That still does not, and that literally was just giving me, that's me giving them grace. It's like, all right, this is your first go round. You guys tried to do something. You tried to bring back Ukes. You tried to do it with Ukes and see, all right, bring back the nostalgia. A lot of people, just off of looking at clips, they'll try to think this is the No Mercy feel. They thought it was No Mercy. It's not. When you play this game, it's nothing like No Mercy. The only thing that you could say Fight Forever is close to No Mercy is just the graphics. That's it. The graphic. There's just the problem with the game is that there's not enough replay value. Like, and I don't want to even compare. I don't like comparing them, but it's like you have no other choice because there's no other fighting wrestling game than, of course, WWE 2K series. When we use the thing about with the 2K series, the WWE 2K series, even if they have their own fuck ups, they still have a long lasting replay value.
Right.
The only game out of the 2K series that was god awful is WWE 2K20, and that's it.
Oh,
It's 2K20. 2K20 was the only one that was god awful out of all of them, but it's still the rest of them replay value. It's the replay value is endless. So It's like we got Fight Forever. You have the mini games. You have the mini games. You can be on skateboards. You ride skateboard to the ring. How many more times are you gonna really keep doing that? Like Stampede. Stadium Stampede was cool. Stadium Stampede is cool too, but it's just like the online is basically broken. The connection issues is just not. It's not fun. I've never been a fan of the DLC or basically the unlocking status. Like I think even when you have to get unlocking Owen Hart is like that's the only real reason you would even play the story mode of Road to the Elite, just to get Owen. And then once you get Owen, it doesn't even still feel like it doesn't feel anything, because it's like, all right, you unlock Owen, and honestly, the way to unlock Owen is like it's so random. It's like it's like by luck, and like you have to unlock him by luck. That's how weird it is. And like when you do unlock him, that's it. It's like there's nothing. There's still nothing. Like you can only go and play. You can probably play Road to the Elite. I'd say a good like 2 or 3 times. You could play it. You could replay it, but then after a while, you're gonna just put it down because the replay value is just not there. It's so repetitive. It's repetitive. It's like certain parts are repetitive, and then also other parts are just not. It's just not there for you. If you want to, you could put the game down and come back 5 months later to play again and be like, oh, I just feel like you just bought it yesterday. It's just not there. It was hyped up. It sounded good on paper. It looked good on paper. It sounded good it sounded great through the grapevine. But when you actually sit down and play it, you realize you see there's so much more lacking. The DLC, terrible. That whole DLC list is terrible. I'm sorry. If this is what was supposed to be for AEW Fight Forever, this is the same AEW that you have. You got the likes of Cody Rhodes in the game. You got CM Punk in the game. You got Jericho. You got almost everybody's faves. A lot of people's faves are in this game.
Right.
The DLC pre-order DLC was the Hardy Boys.
No, not even. It was just Matt. I thought.
No, it was Matt and Jeff. It's Matt and Jeff.
Okay.
It's Matt and Jeff, and then they got Dan Housen and Hook. Then it's Anna Jade,
Keith Lee and Bunny, right?
Keith Lee and Bunny, and then it's also FTR.
Right.
That's
who should have been in the game to begin with. I don't understand why.
That's why it's just like you looking at it and it's just like it's not enough. This isn't enough. It's really not enough. And then the gameplay of it is so fucking like if you're trying to go and like face anybody online, just say fuck it, because either way, it's always going to be a matter of chance. Because literally all you got to do is just go. You can literally go online and play as either Jon Moxley or Kenny Omega, and you're gonna win no matter what. You're gonna win. Or better yet, you can go and play as Wardlow, and you're gonna win because it's like they're so souped up. It's just like it's so cheesy. It's so cheesy. It's not realistic. I get it. I say like if you want to just play Fight Forever with a group of friends in the house. When you got to get together and everybody's just drunk and you just want to have that game to play, cool, play. It's like a watered, to me, I would say it's like a watered down, super watered down version of Mario Kart.
So it's in the much better played as a party game than it is as a solo game.
In terms of just playing with your friends, it's a super watered down version of Mario Kart. That's it. But it's a 7 just off of the grace of this is being their first game. I would hope if this is their first and last game, then let them take that as a lesson to never do this again. But if they are going to end up like staying in the gaming world, then cool. take this as a lesson and really go back and improve, because there's a lot of room for improvement. Just sitting here and just leaving AEW Fight Forever as is and just holding it for future DLCs to adding characters, that's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. I guarantee you. And you know how the roster of AEW already is. Adding more of those characters in the game is not going to change the fact that the game is fucking broken, and the game is not playable. So it's a 7. It's a 7 just off of the grace, but in truth, it's a 4.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Don't even waste your time. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to buy it. I already seen it coming from a mile away. Hold on a second, I'll be right back.
No, you're good. I honestly at this point I'm definitely not gonna get it. I think if it comes free on the PlayStation Plus or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
I might, what I mean?
If it's like the free monthly PlayStation Plus game, yeah, sure, download it. Just download it for the shits and giggles. Just say like you have it. Or if you want to really like wait and spend like $20 on the game when it ends up being $20, then yeah, cool. But and then it was also the promo for it. The promo for Fight Forever just made no sense.
It wasn't necessarily the greatest. Yeah,
it wasn't the greatest promo. And then when it did drop, you already saw like they were just giving away first 50 or 100 people to retweet this. You're getting a free copy of AEW Fight Forever. It was just like, wait, what? Like, I remember I put it in the chat for y'all to like see. Like,
I remember.
It was so random. Nothing. They didn't promo it correctly. They just didn't give it. It didn't get the good. I feel like it just didn't get the press run it was supposed to get. That would get you see certain videos.
Strong.
Yeah, it wasn't strong. It was weak. It was weak.
They weren't confident in it.
It was a weak rollout. It was a weak game. It just was a weak development. I think they probably knew it was weak, but because they were already so far gone, there was no turning back. They just had to be like, you know what? We can't scrap the game now. Everybody, we kept on saying that this game is coming. It's been like 3 years now. The game, we just gotta drop it. Just release it. The game's here.
Yeah, it is very similar to their parent company.
Yeah.
They say these movies are coming. What was it? Aquaman 2 was supposed to come. They haven't been fucking promoting it until now. Mind you, it's like 3 months out. You weren't promoting it for over 6 months.
Does anybody really care though?
No, I'm just giving an example. For example, now, and one that really hurt me, like Blue Beetle was supposed to be heavily promoted because this is supposed to be your step into the next DC Studios and stuff like that. You're not heavily promoting that. You show a trailer maybe online, but you're not doing heavy promotion on TV. You're not doing heavy promotion all over the internet. You're not doing heavy promotion through AEW. You're not doing anything for it. Yeah. So to me, it's like Kenny Omega's trying to show that this game is supposed to be coming out, supposed to be doing this, supposed to be doing that. And for some odd reason, he's being quiet about the game. Oh, he's frustrated. I think that's the only big news we've seen since before the release was, oh, he's been frustrated that things aren't going good. Things aren't being said. The game's going to be great. Game's to be this. And it turned out to be crap.
And I mean, look, it sucks because, look, as wrestling fans, like we always say that competition is good, right? And not just wrestling fans in general. Competition should be good. But if the competition isn't actually giving any competition, it's like, well, what's the point? That's really the bad part about it, is that, look, man, you want it to be good. You want it to be good because, as we've seen, even with AEW coming into play, when business is good, when business is good for one company, it brings up the other company because now you have to step your game up, right? When ECW came out, WWE and WCW had to change their entire landscape, right? Because people were flocking towards ECW because it was so different. If it wasn't for ECW, essentially we wouldn't have the Attitude Era or the Monday Night Wars.
Right.
Excuse me. But I think it sucks. I like I said, you want them to win. I mean, most. I feel like well, I can't even say most. Some fans like winning. We want to see them win. Pardon me, but look, a L is a L. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's it.
It is what it is at this point.
Just come out and say, "Hey, it was garbage. We're sorry. We're going to try to improve it as best as we can." And we promise you that if it's our last game, we promise that we're going to do the best for it. And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. You have fans who would have literally shelled out money and be like, "Oh my God, this is the best thing ever."
I think,
and you still sold it at a $60 to $70 price point, right?
Yeah, they did. Now, that's why I was even more upset that I bought the deluxe version of the game. So that's how you think I felt buying, spending money on those deluxe version of a digital game, and then finding out that this game is god awful. I think it was just more. It was actually more hilarious to me seeing like a lot of the AEW diehard fans, like the ones that only care about AEW, really defending this game, and I'm just like. And I get it, blind loyalty. You're going to defend your favorite company just because you want to defend it. But then until you play it, I saw a lot of actual AEW fans, like they're playing it and like, yeah, this game isn't all that. I was like, oh, you finally saw the light. They finally have seen the light. So it's okay. It's okay. Right. It's okay to just say like the game is bad.
It's like be honest with yourself.
Yeah, just be. It's a bad game. It's not great. Y'all want to sit here and say like, oh, y'all tired. Y'all wanted to sit here and come with the takes. You guys are tired of the simulation games like 2K, but those wrestling games are the standard. Those are the standard now. There's like it's fun. Like I said, as fun as it is, I don't really care to be riding a skateboard to the ring while I'm facing you. If I'm facing you in an exhibition match, I don't care to bring a skateboard to the ring. I don't care because those made games. I don't care for that.
And like y'all said, right? Speaking specifically on something like the Stadium Stampede, if your servers aren't going to be able to keep up with everything,
right?
Then why even invest in it? Like a battle royal for wrestling should be dope. You know what I mean? Like it should be sick. But if it's not coming to play, then what the hell? So with that being said, let's get to the main event. There's a lot going on.
The main event.
Let's not get sued. No, it's just but
I said it drowsy. It sounds nothing like
drowsy. So today I'm dubbing Black. I think I wrote. Oh no, Thursday. Yeah, today is Thursday.
Yeah, to say it's Thursday. Right.
Black Thursday because after the TKO merger between the WWE and the UFC, there has been some cuts. So that's the main event today, is to speak about the different talent cuts that has happened. And as of right now, and I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some more. I'm just gonna name most of the people that we know as a whole. But here are some of the names. And what I would like for us to do is to mainly talk about one person that we were shocked about. And just kind of speak on we'll get into it. So now also I do know that they were saying that majority of the cuts were people that were not being used. Okay, which look, it's fair for the most part, right? If you had a regular job and you're not being used or producing, they have every right to cut you, right? They have every right to fire you.
Yeah, go.
Listen, look, I'm not saying I like it. I think that's a factual statement, right? Whether we like it or not. So here's some of the names released. Mustafa Ali. Even though he wasn't released, I believe they came to terms with him leaving. Emma, who is also known as Tennille Dashwood. Yeah, I said that right? Yeah.
Dashwood, correct.
Rick Boogs, Aaliyah, Elias, also known as Ezekiel, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar from Hit Row, Shelton Benjamin, Dana Brooke, Mansoor, Marseille, Quincy Elliott, Dabakato, Shanky, and then there was the last one that's actually on this particular list were NXT that weren't necessarily on NXT television. So, if you guys don't mind, you mind if I start?
Do what you got to do.
All right. So for me, I would definitely say that one of the biggest shockers, for me is, I'm gonna go with Dolph Ziggler, right? Dolph is a Grand Slam champion. And I saw this tweet and I kind of agree with it. Dolph could very well be the best six man in WWE history, right? He's worked with everybody. Not only has he beaten damn near everybody, but he's put everybody over. Dolph Ziggler can very well be the Shawn Michaels of this generation and a past generation. The way the man sells, the way the man brings emotion to the screen, and he's one of those wrestlers. We would say that he's a WWE lifer, right? I mean, he could have very well be the Undertaker in that standpoint, of being that lifer aspect, right? Because he was there for so long. And to see him go from the Spirit Squad all the way up to what he is, what he had become, it's just extremely shocking more than it is anything else. Like, I understand they weren't really using him on TV, but you knew that you can trust Dolph. You can trust Dolph with anybody in the ring.
So, when it comes to Dolph, I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. A lot of these releases I didn't really care for. I could agree with you right there, K Marvel, that Dolph Ziggler is probably one of the best six men that they've had. But I also feel that Dolph just really hit his ceiling. Like everybody was just expecting. You guys are expecting. That's the thing. Like y'all saying like he's like Shawn Michaels. That it really got to a point where Dolph Ziggler's entire at that point his gimmick was literally just you're just another Shawn Michaels. You're not even Dolph Ziggler. You're Shawn Michaels 2.0. Like to the point where like you're special. Your finisher went from you would stop using the zigzag for a minute and you just constantly just using the sweet chin, doing super kicks.
Essentially, yeah.
So it's like I wish Dolph the best. I think Dolph will be fine. He'll kill it. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna obviously if he's gonna go on the indies, he's gonna kill it on the indies, and he's gonna look like a fucking star. He's gonna look like a king. I feel bad for Emma. I feel bad that Emma got brought back and the fact that that's the thing. I was like, most of the releases I didn't care for, but some of them I did feel bad for. Like Emma, I felt bad that she came back, she got brought back a year later.
Yeah,
And
almost a year ago. Yeah.
basically a year ago, and basically now you just weren't being used at all.
Right.
And for you to like go and you're tweeting it, like thinking like, all right, they just announced that the Elimination Chamber was going to be in Australia. You're an Australian wrestler. You're like, oh, this is going to be dope. Like, I can't wait for this. And next thing you know, you find out you got released. It's just like that sucked. That was hurtful. But you know,
also announcing that they're doing Elimination Chamber in Australia, and she was hyped for that. And
literally an hour she posted it.
Yeah, literally.
Well, and in an hour later she found out she was released.
Yeah, like 5 hours later she was released. So it's just like, ooh, yikes. But you know, I also you gotta feel bad. You feel bad for folks like well, no, I don't. Well, Ali, I would say Ali is just more or less like I didn't really. At first, when he tweeted it out, I didn't know if he was really like. I thought he was just trolling. Mm-hmm. I was just and I was gonna just start rolling my eyes and just keep scrolling because I'm like, I don't really care. I don't care what Ali got to say. Again, he's just gonna sit here complain about wanting to release, complain about getting released, complain about he doesn't like what he's doing. He doesn't like he wants to be booked this certain way. He wants to be booked this way or that way. And then he ends up right on our TV screens and just makes lemonade out of what they give him.
Right.
I thought when he did confirm and say that he's no longer with WWE, I was more intrigued because I was like, well, then what does that do for next Saturday? Because he's supposed to face either Dom or Dragon Lee for the North American title next week. So I'm just like, well, what does that do? Like, what happened to that title shot? Is that scrapped off NXT? Or is this like, yo, he's saying he's no longer with WWE, where this is going to be like, is that going to be his final contract? Is it next thing you know, he wins the North American title and then he ends up just getting, and they sign him again like that? I don't know. Anything is possible, but you know, I think I'm not going to sit here and say like, you know, Ali was this generational talent and he needed it and they fumbled him so bad. They dropped the bag. No, they did the best they could with whatever that was going on with Ali. They did the best they could. I think Ali is going to be okay. If he had to go anywhere else, make him go to Japan. Make him go to Japan, and he'll thrive in the Super Juniors. He'll thrive.
A lot of people also say that he would be great in the X division, which I completely agree with. Also,
I agree with that. Also, yeah, he'll work. Just put him there. Either or, but
yeah, definitely.
Possibilities are endless. You know, some of the releases that definitely needed to be, but a lot of these also releases, they were people that we just didn't see on TV that we didn't care about. Y'all are not gonna sit here and tell me that y'all were upset that Dabba-Kato got released. Y'all are not gonna sit here and tell me that y'all were upset that that Quincy Elliott was released. Y'all not gonna tell me that. You see it in my display name. I was just like, all right, like, bye. Like, I'm not. No one can sit here and tell me that a lot of these names that was on that list, y'all were really like going up in arms for see them every week. No, you don't.
And before Stryker, you know, talks about, you know, somebody who was released, I just want to point this out also, right? There's a merger.
It happens.
You look at your books.
Yeah.
Who are you giving money to who's not producing? I said that before, you know, when we started talking about this topic, right? You are not going to continue to pay people while they're sitting on their ass.
But you see, K Marvel, a lot of people understand that, but they're also gonna say like a multi-billion-dollar company that really just merged and got billions of dollars more and also just signed a new billion-dollar deal for one of their brands. They find that to be, it can't be like it's cutting costs or cost cutting when you literally just made over $1 billion just off the contracts. Two things can be true. That is true also. It's just like, hey,
yeah, no, absolutely. Like, there is points to each side for sure.
I think it's like I said, when it comes to this whole thing of business, it's like it's sad that it happened. It sucks that it happened. But it is a part of life. It just sucks that it has to be a part of that life. It sucks that this has to be the reality. But at the same time, I also look at it as like, bro, like I don't necessarily care that much. I'm not that invested because again, I do not work for this company. I don't work for this company. I don't have a conglomerate, so I can't really speak from that experience. I'm just a fan. And and I'm gonna be fair, a lot of these names that did get released were people that I just weren't even a fan of. I necessarily didn't care. I didn't give it. I think it was unfortunate that that was another upstart that was in NXT that she got released. I was a little bit. I think it was Leah.
Aaliyah was on SmackDown, bro.
Oh, I don't care, but no, not Aaliyah. I'm not talking about her. Like she, I didn't care for it. That was just like, all right, she gone. That was.
No, if you're talking about Amari Miller, she's still there.
No, Amari Miller's still here. I know that. I know
Amari
Miller's she's still here. But let me see.
Was it Alexis Gray you're talking about?
No, I'm looking up the name right now. I think it was Lex. Yeah, Lexini. Lexini was gone. Yeah, she got released. That sucked. It was Yulia Leon.
Yulissa Leon, yeah.
Yulissa Leon, yeah, that sucked. That was hurtful. I was just like, damn. I actually did get to see her a couple times on Level Up, so I'm just like, oh, okay. She seems pretty good, but it was
Leon and Valentina Flores, right? That was the tag team?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, just making sure.
Yeah, so when she went, it was just like, oh, that sucks. It was just like, all right. But some of them is just like, which one? What?
No, go ahead. Finish your statement.
My statement is just basically, it's just like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, Rick Boo's left is gone. All right. As long as, and also like Top Dollar got fired. So it's just like, all right, like what are we upset about?
Well, I was about to say, a lot of people are actually upset about that.
I'm like, why?
Well, I mean, they can definitely use him in a different capacity, and that's just something I want to state too. Is that they, once again, yes, these people got released, but there's always a chance for them to come back, and for them to come back doing something different. Mm-hmm. So, hypothetically speaking, Top can come back as a producer.
Some of these gimmicks just really didn't work. It just didn't work. Like, all right, you bring Hit Row back. Hit Row didn't work. Hit Row
not without Swerve.
Yeah, right. Hit Row was already a bust because you didn't have Swerve, and it's just like, all right, Top Dollar. Like I said, Top Dollar lost the weight. He's charismatic, but when it came to wrestling, it's just like, he here. B-Fab, she's there. She's still here, thank God. And Asante, he can go. So it's just like, all right, well, I looked at it. How I looked at it, a lot of these cuts, they were getting rid of the ones that, like I said, the ones that just weren't being used.
Yeah.
And they already reached their ceilings. Yeah. Elias reached the ceiling already. It wasn't a waste. Elias did everything that he was supposed to do. He did everything he was supposed to do. He did everything right. He hit his ceiling.
He said he was pitching ideas too, so it's not to say that he didn't have anything in the
he wasn't trying,
Yeah, it wasn't trying.
For a lack of trying, yeah.
And it just didn't go the way it was. Rick Boogs, once Rick Boogs got injured, the momentum was just gone.
Yeah, that was it.
They were burned out. They were fizzled out on him. So it was just like, all right, that sucks. But it is what it is.
Strike.
Well, other than me being released,
Oh yeah,
that was the one. I knew that's what it was. That was hilarious.
That was the release that actually should have
been
done.
Well,
them getting rid of Shelton Benjamin is just like
Strike. Yeah, Strike's about to. I knew he was getting to it.
Other than me getting released, I'm okay with the list. Honestly,
I mean, it's never good for somebody to do their job.
No. But yes, I'm not saying I'm okay with people losing their job.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is their livelihood. This is how they're making money. Yeah. But to me, for the people that did get released, opportunities are high elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You put a Mustafa Ali in a locker room, you'll have great matches wherever he goes.
That's a fact.
If you put him in AEW, start him off with Buddy Matthews. That is perfect for me. Somebody suggested I was watching Sean Ross Sapp earlier on his Fightful, news, and somebody suggested that Shelton Benjamin should join the Blackpool Combat Club, and I looked at it and I'm like,
That would be interesting.
that's very interesting because it reminds me of him and Suzuki Gun. That's why I said okay, it works for me. But there's so many different places these people can go, and they don't have to wrestle. That is the beautiful thing. They do not have to wrestle.
Yeah, they can literally just go to another company and just be a producer.
You can be a producer. You can be a trainer.
Yeah.
I think Ziggler and Shelton are definitely two big gets, especially if you want to mold talent.
Yeah.
I think those are your big two gets.
I will say this too, just to add to that point. At least Ziggler, I believe he said, let me not say I know. I believe he did say that at some point he does want to tag with his brother. If y'all don't know who it is, that's
Ryan Nemeth.
Excuse me, Ryan Nemeth, who is in AEW. You see him a lot
Hollywood
on
Hunk.
Being the Elite. And he teams often with Peter Avalon. So to see those two get together would be really, really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they were able, because look, all that would do would be to elevate Namath, right, his brother.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And it would be really dope if they would have win any type of tag belts together, right? Even if they would have, let's say they're not on AEW specifically, let's say they're on ROH. ROH's tag division is stacked. So
also very internationally known for that.
Absolutely. And just the deals that you can possibly do. Like they could travel to Japan, they can go to Mexico. There's a lot of possibilities. And same thing with Shelton. Shelton is a one-of-a-kind performer. He really is. He's been one of the most athletic performers in the last, over 20 years.
Right.
So wherever Shelton goes, if he decides to continue his wrestling journey, wherever Shelton goes, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Shelton, to me, is world championship material. To me, he always has been. So but go ahead, brother.
I feel for Tenille. I think that was a big blow for me personally because I've always supported Tenille, and whether she was at NXT, whether she was on the main roster, always supported what she was doing. I can put my personal bias and say something else about somebody else on the list, but in all honesty, for the whole list, I wish everybody the best. I know it's a hard time. I mean, shoot, you have Masay, or I'm not even calling him Masay. Brandon Williams, who is on his Twitch journey now. Yeah, Mansoor.
He's on right now, actually.
Right. You have Mansoor, who was he's excited. He's going to move forward in his life. I think Brendan and Mansoor is going to have a great time as a tag team wherever the hell they go or whatever they do together. I think they'll be great because they made Maximum Male Models so funny, so interesting. They ran it to the ground. So if they can do something with stuff like that, I can only imagine them actually getting serious roles or actual wrestling matches and some actual spotlight. Give them a couple of years, have them tear it up on the indies, let them come back wherever they want to, and just raise their stock. Mansoor wasn't a bad talent.
No, not at all.
For somebody who just picked up, the high caliber matches he was in every year for Crown Jewel.
He was Saudi Arabia's Undertaker.
Right.
He was always undefeated. He was undefeated, and when he always went over there.
And I think a lot of people don't know that the great Otaku, aka Brennan, aka Mace or Mace from Retribution.
Mhm.
He was so over on the indies. I'm sorry, not the indies, on the live show scene when it came to NXT. People don't know, like something simple like him sitting down doing the sit in, like he was over. I mean, truly over. He came in with the Gundam style helmet, and like he was over. Shout out to our brother Stretch. He said he wishes he was here, but brother man, you gotta take care of family. We already know. So you do you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. P.S. We stand.
Ulissa Leon.
Ulissa, excuse me, Leon. But people don't understand how over he really was. And for me personally, he has so much unused talent. It's not untapped, it's unused talent. That once again is exactly what Strike said. No matter where he goes, there is a big possibility for him to be over.
Right.
So.
And correct me if I'm wrong. He was a former NFL talent as well, correct?
Yes. Oh, well, I don't know if he was NFL. I know he played college for the Tar Heels.
Okay.
Played college football for the Tar Heels. I don't know if he was actually in the NFL or not. Not sure. But look, I think at the end of the day, right? We wish the best for everybody who was released. We want you guys to flourish in whatever decision you guys make.
Just a quick correction.
What's up?
Play for the Texans and play for the Jaguars.
Oh, okay. There you go. So he was in the NFL. He was definitely in the NFL.
Texans in 2013 and the Jaguars in 2015.
Okay. Well, foot in the mouth. No. No. Well, I said I wasn't sure. So, but yeah. I mean, look. At the end of the day, whenever there's a mass exodus like this, it sucks, right? And essentially, you don't want the majority of people to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
But let's call a spade a spade. Crap like this happens. We've seen it for years among years at this point. Yeah, I mean, look, we wish everybody the best.
Right.
And what is it? Godspeed, right?
Godspeed.
Good luck on all their future endeavors. To them and their future endeavors, good luck. There's nothing much else to say. Like I said, the ones that did deserve to get fired, it is what it is. I ain't nothing about. Sorry, the ones that deserve to get fired, it is what it is. You already know. I'm clear. This is clearly a account that is not a fan of Quincy, so they did what they had to do. I'm just glad that they didn't really go like they did before, and they were going after like actual great. Not well, obviously the talents are all good.
Bro, there was a few.
Yeah. They just didn't go out. They didn't go after like the ones that we are like super fans of. They just went and took out the ones that just are never on TV. So you just gotta just take it for what it is.
Yeah, man.
Right. But I will say the class that did get, I mean the people that were let go this turnaround, I feel they have a higher ceiling to
because they got
elsewhere
to reach.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They're also because like majority of them that did get released, they're young. They got enough time. They got enough time to go. They can own their polish their craft, own it. Polish it, spruce it up. And if they do decide to give them a call back, they get that call back and they can kill it and show them exactly why they shouldn't have fired them. That's
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
Absolutely. Look, this is the perfect time to bet on yourself.
Yeah, bet on yourself. It's the nature of the game.
So, gents, with that being said, once again, I think I can speak for all four of us when I say good luck to everyone. As of right now, we don't know if this is it. So we just got to see, tomorrow and over the weekend to see if there's
No,
any.
well, apparently they said I had read a report. They said that they're as of right now they're done with all the releases. They're done. They're done with it for right now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I guess around Christmas time if they're gonna do it again. We'll see. But as of right now, yeah, they're done. No more. No one else is doing release.
And quick interruption. No, sir, you can't speak for me. Because I'm happy with the. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not cold. That's cold.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Jesus.
Honestly, honestly, as characters, I can say whatever the fuck I want about the characters. Before as human beings,
right.
Honestly, God bless. I hope y'all find solace in whatever it is that you do from this point forward. You know the company that you work with can stockpile at a time and be very fickle the next.
Yeah.
So with a deal like this, I think everybody was walking on eggshells at this point. But what I can say is thank you for everybody who's entertained us. Thank you for everybody who's been on TV when they could be. Your injuries, whatever happened behind the scenes, whether you got time or not. Be happy with the spotlight you got and make the best of it now where you're going forward.
Listen, look, to end it, I'll quote Matt Cardona, what he said earlier. This is not the end. It's only the beginning. So good luck to everyone.
Take it from somebody who showed that through and through.
Yup. And with that being said, gentlemen, let's do what we do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you already know where to find me at Forever Thiefing on Instagram and on Twitter. Like I said, I thank everybody for being with us. Thank everybody for rocking with us as much as you can. Scheduling. I ain't got much else to really promote. Tune in for Sundays in my stories. Sundays and Monday nights. Just tune in. You'll see what you see. Enjoy it. And let's hope that there's more decent content coming in for the next 2 weeks regarding wrestling. Let's see if the shit show continues.
Just be sure to join QS's Speakeasy on social media. We'll know about that.
For real, right? Once again, our brother, the Big Stretch, Professor Stretch, could not be here today. But brother, our hearts are with you. My condolences to the family. You can find him on Instagram at Jadora. I said that wrong, right? Jadora. No, I said that right. Jadora Sapio, and on Twitter is that Stretch? I feel like you should put a question mark at the end of that. Make sure to follow him and all of his endeavors.
God, you sounded horrible with that.
Man, it seemed like he was fired. You made it seem like he got fired.
I didn't say his future endeavors. I said endeavors. The hell? Yeah. He ain't leaving shit.
And it's me, Stryker Dragoon. I will change my little nickname for next time that we're on. But Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch is all the same. YouTube at Stryker Dragoon 131. If I was not busy after the pod, I would be playing Cyberpunk 2077 with the update 2.0 that they just dropped today. And the new DLC Phantom Liberty will be out next Thursday. It is starring Idris Elba as Solomon. I forgot the last name, but we'll just say Solomon at the moment. Apparently the update is really good. Apparently the DLC is even better, getting 90s across the board. Here and there you'll get people that review lower because they're upset with their own lives or something like that. But yes, I will be streaming hopefully tomorrow We'll be playing some Cyberpunk. We'll be playing some Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, which is a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. And what else? Maybe some Resident Evil 4 remake, Separate Ways DLC, playing as Ada Wong for Resident Evil 4. That's about it.
And as for me, you can find me, K Marvel, on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all at Mr. Marvel 87. Also, be sure to listen to A Different Angle tomorrow at 5 p.m. live on prn.live. Also, you can follow that at 88 Pod 2023. I promise we will post more things on there as time goes by. We're just working on some kinks. Also, make sure to follow the Four Corners Commentary on YouTube at the Council of Commentary and X/Twitter at CO Commentary. And then also make sure you follow us on the CDB network. Excuse me. You can follow them on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can listen to the Sky High Podcast, Fitness and Health, Mental Health Show. You can follow us. You can follow ADA, which is A Different Angle. You can follow CDB Podcast. You can follow the Sucio Boys. And there are more coming. Also, excuse me. Also, make sure you guys, we just want to make sure to let y'all know, if you want to listen to season or watch season 1 and season 2, they are no longer on streaming platforms, but you can watch all of them on YouTube. So you make sure to check that out. And you can make sure to listen to us once again on the CBD network on all of your streaming platforms. Guys, we appreciate y'all so much. Once again, we are 3 of your Four Corners of Commentary. Thank you guys for listening. We love you.
4.
Stay positive, and we out. Peace.
I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got it. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough Cause time. I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by